Have you heard of GLP-1 drugs? They're transforming the way we manage obesity, diabetes, and even some anti-aging therapies. In this video, we'll explore how these medications work, why companies like Hims and Hers can offer them without holding the patent, and the serious risks that come with them, particularly when these drugs are not properly prescribed or compounded. Stay tuned as we also look at past examples where poorly compounded drugs caused widespread harm. GLP-1, or glucagon-like peptide 1, is a hormone that plays a pivotal role in regulating blood sugar and appetite. This hormone stimulates insulin secretion and reduces appetite, making it a powerful tool in treating type 2 diabetes and helping with weight loss. Medications like Ozempic and Wegovy mimic the effects of GLP-1, which is why they've become widely used for managing obesity and diabetes. However, these drugs aren't just making headlines for their effectiveness. They're also sparking debates on their availability, accessibility, and safety. The increasing demand for these drugs, paired with the difficulty many people face in accessing them through traditional channels, has opened up opportunities for companies like Hims and Hers to step in. GLP-1 drugs are often patented, which means only the original developers can legally sell them under their brand names. However, some companies, like Hims and Hers, are offering a workaround by using compounding pharmacies. A compounding pharmacy mixes and prepares custom medications for patients based on prescriptions. These pharmacies are legally allowed to combine FDA-approved active ingredients into personalized treatments, often avoiding direct patent infringement. Hims and Hers, for example, can provide patients with medications based on the active ingredients found in GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic, without being directly tied to the patents of those medications. Consider a patient with type 2 diabetes who might not be able to afford the brand name GLP-1 drugs. Through telehealth services, Hims and Hers can prescribe a compounded version that mirrors the original drug's ingredients and effects. But the question is, does the compounded version offer the same level of quality and safety? While compounding pharmacies are a legitimate part of the healthcare system, they're not without controversy. Under certain circumstances, these pharmacies may be allowed to provide compounded versions of FDA-approved drugs, but this practice isn't always clear-cut. Some pharmacies use unapproved ingredients, fail to meet safety standards, or operate without proper supervision. And when GLP-1 drugs are compounded without proper oversight, the risks can be significant. There have been numerous cases where poorly compounded drugs led to serious health consequences. For example, in 2012, a nationwide outbreak of fungal meningitis was traced back to a compounding pharmacy in Massachusetts. The pharmacy had sold contaminated steroid injections, resulting in 64 deaths and hundreds of infections. While this case is extreme, it highlights the dangers of compounding when the regulations are ignored. One of the biggest issues with compounded GLP-1 drugs is their availability through illegal online pharmacies. These websites often sell medications without requiring a prescription or providing a legitimate doctor consultation. It's easy to get caught up in the allure of lower prices, but there's a significant danger here. Many of these sites offer compounded GLP-1 medications that may contain dangerous impurities, incorrect dosages, or ineffective formulations. Some of these drugs are counterfeit, which means they could have been manufactured in unsanitary conditions or with harmful substances. Consumers may think they're buying a cheap version of Ozempic or Wegovy, but instead, they could be getting a fake product that doesn't work or worse, harms their health. Beyond the 2012 fungal meningitis outbreak, there have been other significant failures in the compounding industry. For instance, a 2017 case involved contaminated hormone replacement therapy compounded by an unregulated pharmacy in Florida. The patients using these drugs suffered from severe allergic reactions and hormonal imbalances. While these examples are extreme, they demonstrate a larger problem. Compounding pharmacies that don't follow safety regulations put people's lives at risk. Many of these drugs, including compounded GLP-1 drugs, are sold without any oversight of their safety or effectiveness, leading to a growing public health concern. When you purchase an FDA-approved medication, it has gone through rigorous clinical trials and quality control measures. These processes ensure that the drug works safely and effectively for its intended purpose. But compounded drugs don't always have the same level of scrutiny. Compounded drugs aren't subject to the same clinical testing or manufacturing standards as FDA-approved drugs. As a result, there's a greater risk that these drugs could be ineffective, harmful, or inconsistent in their potency. The commercialization of compounded GLP-1 drugs through companies like Hims and Hers raises ethical questions. Are these companies doing enough to ensure the safety of their customers? Are they just capitalizing on a gap in the market, even though they know that some compounded drugs could have serious risks? From a regulatory standpoint, the lack of uniform oversight can lead to confusion about what's safe and what's not. Even if a drug is compounded correctly, there's still the challenge of ensuring that patients have proper medical supervision to minimize risks. The key to protecting yourself is knowledge. Always consult with a licensed healthcare provider before starting any medication. If you're considering a GLP-1 drug, make sure it comes from a legitimate source, like an FDA-approved pharmacy. When using telemedicine services, ensure they are accredited and regulated. Don't be tempted by the lure of cheap medications from unregulated websites. Remember, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. GLP-1 drugs are an exciting development in the world of healthcare, but like all medications, they come with risks. Compounding pharmacies offer an alternative, but it's crucial to understand the potential hazards when drugs aren't made under proper supervision. If you're considering these treatments, do your research, consult your doctor, and avoid unregulated online pharmacies. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more insightful health content.